BBC GMR.
I mentioned just before the news, I had an email from Les Cotton, who tells me that they've just set up a website all about Belle Vue and its history, and you can find it at http://travel.to/Bellevue, all one word, but with a capital B and a capital V. So that's http://travel.to/Bellevue, all one word, but capital B and capital V. And they'd like to hear from you as well if you've got any memories or photographs or anything at all, really, to do with Belle Vue. And no doubt you can contact them through that website which I've just given you. And if you missed that, you can email me and I'll send you the details on it, richard.fair@bbc.co.uk. So there we are. Thank you for all those calls on that. GMR. Richard Fair here with you through till 2 today, 0161228 2255. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got any memories of Belle Vue, if you could tell us where the Wall of Fame went to, we'd love to know. How did Belle Vue get its name? The area around Gorton, it's called Belle Vue, and how did that get its name? How did Gorton get its name, for that matter? 0161228 2255.
In Hale, it's Bob. Hi, Bob.
Hello there.
Hi.
Well, what it was, I was listening to you talking about Belle Vue.
Yeah.
And I've got a book upstairs. I just got it down from the bedroom, actually.
Yeah.
And it's called Looking Back at Belle Vue Manchester. And it's purely and simply about Belle Vue. But all photos in, like you were saying, things like that. On the very first page, it's a programme for the season 1894.
Right.
The prices of admissions and what have you. And the photos in this, it's tremendous. I was just looking one... you know about that Wall of Fame?
Wall of Fame,
aye. There's a photo of Grace Field making a footprint on it.
That's right. A handprint of it,
in 1959. June 1959.
I'm probably looking at the same photograph in a different book as we speak.
Well, this is by Military Press in Timperley.
Aye. She's got a crocheted hat on.
Pardon?
She's got a crocheted hat on.
I presume that'd be the same original photo, yeah. John Barbaroli, there's a photo of him.
Right.
His feet taken,
But whatever happened to the Wall of Fame, I wonder.
Quite honestly, I've been there thousands of times over the years,
Yeah.
But I can't even remember seeing it.
Yeah.
You used to go to King's Hall, you go wrestling or boxing match on and go dancing afterwards, what have you,
Yeah.
I can never remember seeing that Wall of Fame. I remember the flea circus. I ever remember the flea circus.
Yeah.
And a chap used to have it outside. There's a little flea circus with fleas going around pulling things around, and
people seem to remember the zoo and the bobs were the things that people see. It seems to stick.
There was the falls, the caterpillar. Everybody must remember the caterpillar.
Yeah.
You went on that and the big hood come over if he's going around, It's great.
Okay then. Well, thanks for that.
This book, it's purely and simply on Belle Vue. Nothing else from the... It was established under the Jennison family, gives you their reign, from 1869 to 1925. Then Belle Vue Manchester Limited from 1925 to 56.
Yeah.
And then Belle Vue under Sir Leslie Joseph and Charles Forty, 56 to 77. And it goes right through everything up to the final closure,
Fascinating.
It's a fascinating book. I mean, it's interested in being just purely and simply on Belle Vue, nothing else but Belle Vue,
Okay, Bob. Well, thanks for that. Yeah, sounds like another fascinating book as well. What I'm looking at is it's just very similar, it sounds like, to the one that Bob mentioned there. This is just full of photographs, and it's a new one, actually. So, quite a nice book.
Let's go to Brinnington and say hello to James. Hello, James.
Oh, Richard. I can remember going to Belle Vue in 1939, Speedway.
Yep.
And after the Speedway, you used to walk under the Scenic Railway, Scenic, and right into the... into the zoo, like you could walk around the zoo and into the pleasure park. There was the Bobs, the Globe, that was outside the lake at the top, Wall of Death, Dodgems, Caterpillar, Moon Rocket, Ghost Train, all them.
The scooter, there's a photograph here of the scooter in 1946.
Yeah, well,
no idea what that is.
Pardon?
No idea what that is.
No, the Moon Rocket was like the Wolsey, you went round on an angle. It went round on an angle. That was right outside where you walk into Belle Vue.
Yeah.
And the Ghost Train was near it. The Dodgems, the Wall of Death was outside the speedway, outside the Scenic, and the Bobs was outside there, and all them, Caterpillar. 1939, it was the only speedway track that kept going during the war with all visiting riders.
And then, of course, they used to have the stock car racing, didn't they? I think
but that was later on, but that was well after the war.
Because I think they did it very recently. When I was driving past there, they were doing some stock car racing at Belle Vue.
Yeah, well, it was Miss A.S. Hart that started the speedway, and after that was Johnny Hoskins that lived in Exley, Stockport, by Scotsman. Then there was all sorts. There used to burn his hat every Saturday night. Split Waterman and all them. Ray Duggan, Vic Duggan, Max Crosgroy, Norman Parker, Jack Parker, Dennis Parker, the Williams brothers, Tommy Price and all them used to go and watch me. And I can remember Peter Craven starting.
Great names, great memories there. James in Brinnington, well done. 0161 228 2255. Nobody yet's been able to tell me what happened inside the Palace of Strange Girls. And I suspect that Jumper Copper is probably something to do with coins, wasn't it? Today it means something very, very different. And also another photograph here, Thrills Inferno, looping the loop on motorcycles. I think that's the Wall of Death. Pictures there in 1946 of that one. 0161 228 2255. Why is it called Belle Vue, though? Why was it called Belle Vue? And why is the area called Belle Vue? 0161 228 2255. If you've got any memories on that, give us a call today. Let's go to Denton and say hello to Fred. Hello, Fred.
Hello there.
You all right?
Yes, fine, thanks.
Good. What can we do you for?
Well, many, many years ago, my father played in the orchestra at Belle Vue, and they used to play for outside dancing in the afternoon, and, of course, inside the ballroom at night. Also, there's another thing that when they used to have these pageants behind the lake, usually military things, and there was, of course, innumerable soldiers kept parading by and what have you. And the thing is that there were only so many, and they kept going round the back and coming round the front again.
So you thought there were thousands of them?
Saving time and money, I suppose. And anyway, the other thing was, it was then privately owned by Jennison's, you see, before it became a company. And employees were allowed to get relatives in for free. And one day we had relatives over from Yorkshire, and with the adults and children, there must have been about 9 of us. And we were supposed to be at the pay box at a certain time, which we were. There was father stood by, because they had to identify the people going in, of course. And he said, "Oh, this is my party, Mrs. So-and-so." So we all trooped in, about all 9 of us, you see. And the kids thought it was marvellous to get into Belle Vue for free. But, of course, that all disappeared when it became a company.
How much would it have cost you?
Well, it was about 3 or 4 shillings at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
And then were all the rides free inside? Is it like they work today, that you pay once on the way in and everything's free inside? Or did you pay once on the gate, or did you have to pay for every ride individually as well?
Oh no, it was only admission free.
Right.
Just the admission.
Right.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. There was a little story going around many years ago about this chap and his wife paid a visit to Belle Vue, and they had about 9 children. And, 1 every year kind of thing, obviously. So they were looking round, and the kids wanted to see the llama. So they went along there, and it wasn't out, you see. And they looked around, the fellow, and he found the keeper. He said, "Look," he said, "I brought my kids. They're mad to see the llama." So he said, "Are these all yours?" He said, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, why?" He said, "Well, line them up and I'll bring the llama out to look at them."
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, Fred,
okay,
thanks for that.
Right.
Fred there with his memories in Denton of Belle Vue. Stan, hello, Stan.
I'll go there.
You all right?
Yeah, fine.
Good, what can we do for you? Did you miss the place? I mean, did you think it would work today, at Belle Vue, or would it have to be very different today?
It would have to be very, very different. The style was ancient in my lifetime, I remember being, before the war, being a boy. And remember the lake?
Yeah.
At Belle Vue.
Are you talking about the pub now, or are you talking about the actual lake?
The lake.
Because there was a pub there called the Lake, wasn't there?
Well, the lake
that's gone now.
and I saw Clive of India, and they had reenactment of one of Clive of India's battles, elephants and castles, and magnificent, you know.
Brilliant.
You know, these things, you couldn't afford to do them now. You know, that's a problem.
Okie doke then, Stan. Well, thanks for that. Some more great memories there from Belle Vue.